Well, that's good sports. I am Brandon. Patrick Mahomes will be my next Tom Brady Perna. I don't hate him yet, but I am going to love to hate Patrick Mahomes the same way I love to hate Tom Brady. The narrative today in Broncos country from the internet after the Broncos lost to the Chiefs in dramatic fashion, 27-23, is that DT slowed down. All the coaches should be fired. The refs don't know the difference between the number 1 and the number 0. And fine, yeah, we get it. Patrick Mahomes is good.
That's an incredible throw by Patrick Mahomes. The arm strength is superb. I like the moxie, but more importantly, I like the poise and the noise. Showtime, Mahomes. Are you kidding me? What a throw. He just guns it on the go. Wow. Third and long. Using that flamethrower of a right arm.
We don't really need to call him the flamethrower, though, do we? I'll recap this game. I rewatched it and saw some things that may shock you. That's a lie. I saw exactly what you saw. A win slip away from the Broncos because of great plays by the Chiefs and not enough great plays by the Broncos in the fourth quarter. That's good, Broncos!
That's good, Broncos!
That's good, Broncos! I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for Patrick Smith, Brian Sanchez, Taylor Cole upping his donation, Aaron Rush upping his donation, Brian Johnson upping as well, Mahomie Showtime Hype Train, Get It Together DT, and Tam Abraham, another upper. Look, Patreon is how I make a living. It's how I pay @WillKey6 to help me write and do our podcasts that we post on my second channel, That's Good Podcasts. We do a recap of the Broncos Chiefs today, and every Thursday we upload a Broncos NFL podcast. So your money is literally helping me pay Will to make more Broncos content for you. Consider donating, patreon.com/that'sgoodsports. And if you do donate, you will live forever. Now, I do like how dirty Monday Night Football is getting. I mean, okay, first they opened the game with these dumb flamethrower animations of Mahomes, but then in the fourth quarter, they did this vulgar thing with Case Keenum's hand signals. I mean, what are you saying? Patrick Mahomes is flaming and Case Keenum is jerking on his... That's gross. Now, don't be mad at Demaryius Thomas after this game for that last play to him where Keenum overthrew the ball. Instead, be mad at DT for this gone fishin' celebration. Anyone who references Joe Pesci in Danny Glover's worst movie, Gone Fishin', immediately curses everyone around him.
We go fishing!
Fishing is their life.
As the daughter of Steph Curry, it's no surprise Riley Patrick Mahomes is so goddamn good at football. Oh, you think that's just a funny meme? Well, how the hell do you explain Mahomes having the exact same jump shot as his dad, Steph Curry? Now, the Broncos' opening drive to start this game looked beautiful. 3 first downs on first down. A pass to Jeff Heuerman. Hey, there's no way you're gonna bring him down with the arm tackles run by Royce Freeman. Freeman was so good in this game, he got this compliment from Booger McFarland.
But that's just terrible tackling by the Kansas City Chiefs defense. You want to be known as the worst defense in the NFL, you tackle like that.
I never thought I'd say this, but a booger is the best part of Monday Night Football. I wonder if anybody else was considered for Booger McFarland's job. Can you imagine being in the real world and losing out on a job application to a guy named Booger? And then Philip Lindsay matched Royce Freeman's run with the first down of his own. But then the Broncos had to settle for a gooch tickler by McManus because of all of this overreacting to Demaryius Thomas dropping a screen pass that went nowhere. Drops are going to happen to every receiver not named Michael Thomas in the NFL. Tyreek Hill let the ball slide through his hands in the red zone. Why are your hands so slippery, Tyreek? Did DT piss on them? The difference is, on the next play, Patrick Mahomes rushed for a touchdown. Great quarterbacks find ways to make up for those mistakes. The biggest problem on the opening drive and throughout the game for the Broncos offense is Garrett Bolles and pass blocking situations, and Keenum's tendency to not feel that rush. This play, where Bolles is getting beat, you have Jared Veldheer on the other side basically getting beat, but he pushes D Ford across the middle of the pocket. So Keenum does not feel Bolles losing ground like an actual Chief in the 1800s and takes a sack. Now, Keenum couldn't really step straight into the pocket there, but he could have stepped to the right side and either ran or extended the play like Mahomes did all fucking night, or like Aaron Rodgers has done with one fucking knee, but he didn't feel it coming, and Bolles, I don't know what to say about Bolles right now. Now, I thought the secondary played by far their best game of the season. Bradley Roby had this great play on third down to hold the Chiefs to a field goal on their opening drive, something no other team has done this year. Now the Chiefs, after they blasted that Butker field goal, had the touchdown that Mahomes ran in that I showed you just a minute ago. Now, down by 7. Denver answered with the touchdown drive of their own. And the good news, it was done by rookies. It was a rookie showcase. Courtland Sutton making a contested catch deep down the field. Andy Janovich had a great blitz pickup to give Keenum time to throw that ball to Sutton. Then Phillip Lindsay running through holes bigger than those fake ones in the ozone the liberal media tricked us into believing about in the 1990s. And it was Royce Freeman, Rolls Royce, bulldozing his way into the end zone. He may be a Rolls Royce, but he's got like a F450 engine in that thing, helping him truck defenders all night long. Game tied 10-10, and that is the extent of my car knowledge. Now, if you want to blame the refs for something, it's for missing this face mask on Devontae Booker. No clue how you miss a guy's head getting exorcisted, but that should have been a 15-yard penalty, putting the Broncos on the 25 with 3 timeouts and 1:47 left in the half. Instead, they struggled to get to the 25 and ended up settling for a field goal, and could have had a touchdown before the half had the refs got that face mask. Halftime.
I know he's a little guy, but let's look at the guy.
Massive pulls. You put it on me as soon as I come out of my punt.
Coming under there.
Be harder and then accidentally come out of my
juicy, crispy chicken tender.
And see that lead hole, how big it is? A good job getting off. You're that big.
For a little guy, look at little Phillip Lindsay.
Rub route.
In the suburbs, the little guy, 5'8", is making a big impact.
You see these holes, Boog? What do you even call that?
Plow through. My cunt is shaking. My cunt doing it again.
Duvernay Tardif? He's late to get to that one. I'm a rookie, guys. That was a pretty good call by me, Joe.
That's excellent pronunciation
exactly.
of the Quebecois native.
Now in the second half, the Broncos could have stopped the Chiefs on the opening drive right here, but Shane Ray trips on what would have been a Mahomes sack, the only legit one of the game. Instead, he finds a wide open tight end down the right sideline that allowed Kansas City to kick a field goal. Important points that could have allowed Denver to just kick a field goal to win the game. This is the drive where Mahomes may or may not have been past the line of scrimmage. The problem here, though, if you want to complain about the refs, is they don't see that imaginary line on the field like we do. But credit the Denver defense for stopping Kansas City on the goal line behind a great Von Miller run stuff, and a drop pass in the end zone on a play that Darian Stewart could have sacked Mahomes as well. Stewart could have sacked Mahomes, forced a fumble, returned it for a touchdown. Basic defense right there, Darian. Royce Freeman was great, 8 carries for 67 yards, which forces me to ask, why the hell does he only have 8 fucking carries? Devontae Booker played 20 snaps in this game and had a terrible pass blocking grade. So if you're saying you kept him in for pass blocking, bullshit! Now after a clutch catch by Travis Kelce, who was well covered by Brandon Marshall, Mahomes hit Travis Kelce again in a bunch formation for a touchdown. That drive took 6.5 minutes and it wore the defense out. The Broncos offense returned the favor by going 3 and out. After having a 10-point lead, they give up a touchdown and then they go 3 and out, giving the defense no rest. And Marquette King aided the defense by kicking a blasting, booming 38-yard punt. Riley Dixon's sister can punt fucking farther than 38 yards. Now, Chris Harris was very upset after the game. He's been very critical of Joe Woods. and probably partially rightfully so. But it was Harris on 3rd and 16 that gave up a 15-yard pass to Tyreek Hill. Was it bad coverage? No, Harris actually played a very good game. But in this game in particular, that's another example of a better fucking play by the Chiefs, with Mahomes rolling out, extending plays like Inspector Gadget. Denver even brought an extra guy in on that play to rush Mahomes. Will Parks, Brandon Marshall, Darian Stewart, Bradley Chubb, and Adam Gotsis all there. Wait, I see the problem, Chris. Parks, Marshall, and Stewart? Shouldn't they all be in fucking coverage? Why is Gotsis the only D lineman in the game there? Maybe Joe Woods is bad. Or maybe you just can't explain how Patrick Mahomes on 3rd down, under duress, switches the ball to his left hand and again makes a play you just can't fucking defend. Deep in the 4th quarter, and we're finally at the infamous 2nd and 30, where again, mobile Mahomes picks up 23 yards with the pass rush that he rolls out on and finds a guy who is wide open because receivers can't be covered for infinity time. The next play, Shaq Barrett gave up the big completion to Demaryius Harris, which he shouldered the blame for after the game. Shaq basically blamed himself for the whole loss. Shaq, baby, it ain't all your fault. It's God's fault. And we are paying for all of those wonderful years we had with John Elway. Patrick Mahomes is football karma's way of sticking it to us for having John Elway. Now the Chiefs get the touchdown, take the lead, and turn Broncos fans against Demaryius Thomas yet again. Did DT slow down? No, Demaryius Thomas got the fuck open is what he did, and Keenum missed the throw. You throw the ball between the corner and the safety here, and you hit your receiver in the hands. If you're blaming Demaryius Thomas for not catching a ball that was way over his head, you are wrong, and probably have never caught a football in your life.
But quarterbacks throw to a spot, and the receiver wasn't in the spot the quarterback threw it to.
Well, if the spot was out of bounds, then yeah, DT should have been out of bounds to catch that ball. How many timing throws did Patrick Mahomes make? How many plays did he go off script and throw the ball to his receiver where he wasn't planning on the receiver being? Being a great quarterback, part of that is just throwing the ball to where your receiver can catch it and where the defense cannot. And that is what Keenum did not do on that final play. Now, the whole loss is not Keenum's fault, but that's what happened right there. The Broncos did have a chance to win a miraculous game. That would have been a miracle win, and people today would have... we would have felt really good instead of really not good. Now, this might also be an unpopular opinion, but the refs did not lose this game for the Broncos. Was this idiot looking right at the 0 on the clock? Yeah, definitely. Yes, this should have been delay of game, and Kansas City should have had a 3rd and 12 instead of a 3rd and 7. The Chiefs were flagged 10 times in this game for 93 yards to the Broncos, 3 penalties for 25. So I don't think you can blame the refs. Here's another unpopular opinion. I don't think the Broncos coaches lost this game for them. Now, I'm not saying I think Vance Joseph is the right guy or that Musgrave or Joe Woods are amazing. But everyone is yelling about the Broncos playing man coverage on 2nd and 30 and or not blitzing. Doesn't fucking matter, because with 4 guys, the Broncos got pressure and Mahomes still beat them. Justin Simmons blew the coverage on that play. The Denver pass rush and ability to stop the run were real problems that also cost them the game. And let's stop pretending like any of us can actually recognize zone and man coverage during a game. The only reason anyone is bitching about that is because on that 2nd and 30, either Jason Witten or Booger McFarland questioned it on TV, saying the Broncos shouldn't be in man coverage there.
But I do not know why you play man-to-man in this down and distance, because plays like that, when he scrambles, it's hard to cover for that long.
The only reason Witten or McFarland questioned the play call was because they ran out of adjectives to describe how much they loved Mahomes.
You see these holes, Boog?
In a game like this, great teams get a special teams play or a defensive turnover or a stop to win the game. That did not happen. 0 picks, 1 sort of sack, 0 forced fumbles, and 0 home plays from the offense. This team is better than last year, and they can compete in any game this season, but overall, pick your poison for the reason why they will remain average. QB play, coaching, pass protection, inconsistent pass rush, or the secondary, none are consistently great, but none are consistently bad. Like coffee from McDonald's. That's what the Broncos are this season. McDonald's coffee. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube's. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna, Instagram at Brandon Perna, and the That's Good Sports podcast on my second channel, That's Good Podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, all that bullshit. Booyah.